two-parent family. That's an oxymoron. That is a survival unit, as what's her name said, Francis said. But the irate woman, once she's angry, she's no longer fearful. But see, women are not being made angry. There's too many shoes out there for women to be angry. There's too many nice clothes for women. There's at least 10 different female channels now. We got one, Spike TV, and all of it is tits, ass, beer, guzzle beer. And you got Oxygen, Lifetime. Keep them coming. Because you buy every fucking thing on the planet. You pour the money that would be used to finance the war against this bastard into their coffers. And you don't teach your son after you play basketball where to go back to it with in the community. You're all right. I got out and I'm fine. Key word. Now to Junior. The emotional pressure for self-preservation during time of war and self-serving attitude of a common herd that have an option you can be persuaded to go is all the pressure finally necessary to propel Johnny off to war. Their quiet blackmailings of him are the threats: no sacrifice, no friends, no glory, no girlfriends. Sister. And what about Junior's sister? She is given all the good things of life by her father and taught to accept the same from her future husband regardless of the price. Cattle. Those who will not use their brains are no better off than those who have no brains. And so this mindless school of jellyfish, father, mother, son, and daughter, become useful beasts of burdens or trainers of the same. And finally, precedent and proof positive of the conspiracy. This shows here that the Vatican, like I said, put into the Congressional Senate the secret Treaty of Verona of November 22nd. Was that number there? 22s? 18 what? 22? 9? What is 18? How do you get, what are the three least common denominators of 18? The three least common denominations? No. 6. So what is it? 6, 6, 6, 11. Showing what this ancient conflict is between the rule of the few and the rule of the many. I wish to call, this is Mr. Owen now, I wish to call the attention of the Senate to this treaty because it is the threat of this treaty which was the basis of the Monroe Doctrine. It throws a powerful white light upon the conflict between monarchical government and government by the people. The Holy Alliance, under the influence of Metternich, the Premier of Austria, remember where was the Illuminati started? In Austria. In 1822, issued a remarkable secret document, the American Diplomatic Code, 1778 to 1884. Listen carefully. The undersigned specially authorized to make some additions to the Treaty of the Holy Alliance. What is the Holy Alliance now? The Vatican. The Vatican, with its membership, the people who have supported it in Austria all this time. Article 1, the high contracting powers, having convinced that the system of representative government is equally as incompatible with the monarchical principles as the maxim of the sovereignty of the people with the divine right, engage mutually in the most solemn manner to use all their efforts to put an end to the system of representative governments in whatever country it may exist in Europe, and to prevent its being introduced in those countries where it is not yet known. So in other words, all systems of representative government having to deal with the people being the ones ruling over themselves, by the secret treaty of Verona, everything having to do with that form of government must be subverted. And the secret treaty of Verona, brothers and sisters, is America's foreign policy. Article 2. As it can now not be doubted that the liberty of the press is the most powerful means used by the pretended supporters of the rights of nations to the detriment of those of princes, the high contracting parties promise reciprocally to adopt all proper measures to suppress it, the power of the press, not only in their own states, but also in the rest of Europe. Article 3, convinced that the principles of religion contribute most powerfully to keep nations in the state of passive obedience. Listen carefully. Convinced that the principles of religion contribute most powerfully to keep nations in the state of passive obedience, which they owe to their princes, the high contracting parties declare it to be their intention to sustain in their respective states those measures which the clergy may adopt with the aim of ameliorating their own interests so intimately connected with the preservation of the authority of the princes. And the contracting powers join in offering their thanks to the Pope for what he has already done for them, and solicit his consent cooperation in their views of submitting the nations. Now, with that said, I want you to think on that, because everything that has been happening to us so far has been based upon not only the Treaty of Verona, but what you've seen as silent weapons for quiet wars. And with that, what I'm going to do now is do a break here and where my hat at. And we're going to get ready to go through the part 2 of the program, which is the reformulating of consciousness, of the consciousness of matter, and the light code reality matrix. At this point, we'll do about maybe 20 minutes to a half, and then we'll be right back after this.
Get that man a black hand.
Physics. This is where we get serious about what we're going to think about next millennium. Sisters, this is the